Okay, so I wanted to do one last video for tonight. Some low calorie foods that I find that are filling and they have helped me at least keep up weight, if not actually lose weight while my back's been out until they can do the procedure. It was supposed to be July procedures. It was supposed to be July 21st, July 28th, but it's going to be July 28th and August 4th now. But anyway, and this y'all be hearing this later than that, more than likely. I've scheduled some of the videos, but not all of them. I think the last one I scheduled was where I was safe though. So future for me, past for y'all, but I'll try and do updates too as to how it worked. But oatmeal. And I used to add a lot of sugar and butter to it, but now what I do is I add a little bit of vanilla and a little bit of butter or margarine, but not a whole lot. Sometimes I add a tad of Splenda, but not much, because remember, Splenda's got calories in it still, and carbs in it still, which, like I've said before on here, I'm on a moderate carb diet. So I'm not on keto or Atkins or anything like that. I'm just on a moderate carb diet. In other words, most people get 50 to 55% of their calories from carbs, or about 100 to 150 grams of carbs per day. And I try and stay below 40% or below. Usually it's more like a third or below, and I usually try and do 30, a third, a third, a third, a third carbs, third fat, third protein. It helped me feel full. It helped me lose weight fairly quickly, and so forth. Soup, just try and stay away from the creamy ones, although um, they can be healthy in moderation, depending on which ones you eat and stuff. I used to eat the cream celery ones every once in a while. Berries, my favorite is blackberries. Blueberries. Um, I do get them at the local Walmart sometimes. Um, um, I usually make a cobbler, a healthy cobbler with it. Uh, my mama used to make it. Um, it's not as high fat, it's not as high sugar. I've made the recipe on here before, and sometimes she didn't even really add dumplings to it. It was more of a um, just berries with a little bit of sugar and stuff in it. But anyway, there's several different healthy ways you can make it. Uh, Eggs, but I've gotten tired of eggs, so I haven't ate as many. Although I have slowly reintroduced them some into my diet, because pre shut down, for the reasons that everybody knows, um, it was I was eating eggs, and uh, that was a lot of my diet was fried eggs, scrambled eggs, and I just got tired of that, or popcorn, because you can get the microwave popcorn fairly cheap at the Great Value brand at Walmart. It's not near as cheap as it used to be though. Um, just about a little over 2 years ago, you could get them for $5.50 for 24 pack, and I remember when they were even cheaper than that. And it was more like $7.50 the last time I bought them. But another fun fact, you can get the kind that you make yourself, in the bags. That's just the kernels, and you can buy a microwave popcorn bowl on Amazon and make your own that way. Um, Fish. I get a lot of those tuna packs. Um, I usually get the off-brand, and I usually catch them when there's an abundance of them, so they're trying to get rid of them, so they're usually a little bit cheaper than they normally are. Things like that. Sometimes I get the can. I have gotten the individual packs at Dollar Tree back when everything was a dollar. Let's see. um, Cottage cheese. I like it with. It's good with cucumbers, believe it or not. My Aunt Peggy's the one that got me onto that, and I like it with pineapples sometimes, or really just salt and pepper on it. Pepper in particular. Potatoes. Well, if you're eating French fries or potato chips, not so much, but um, if, there's other ways you could make them. I usually boil one and eat them with some uh, other frozen vegetables or something. Um, uh, I like boiled potatoes. They fill me up pretty good. Um, Lean meat. Me and my sister have stocked up a lot on meats at Walmart. Um, Legumes, that's things like beans and peas and lentils. I don't really like lentils, even with when they're made with ground beef. I'll eat them, but I prefer beans, and I eat a lot of beans, especially any time of the year besides summer. Watermelon, I love watermelon, but it's not so low in calorie for me because I can eat a whole one all by myself. But uh, when I portion control it with my sister and her son and her grandbabies and so forth, and there's like 6 of us all eating it, and we even have leftovers, then it's a much better, because I'll eat it even after I'm full, or I used to would when I was younger. And I apologize if you can hear my dog barking. He's asleep, and I think he's chasing a rabbit or something. He looks very happy, and he's barking, but I don't know if you can hear him or not. Um, um, some more foods that are low in calories that I like: apples, um, asparagus, broccoli, Brussels sprouts. A lot of these you can buy frozen at Walmart, um, or one of the dollar stores. Cabbage is fairly cheap. I ate a lot. I used to eat a lot of cabbage. Don't uh, really eat it a lot during the summer. If I do, it's the Glory Foods seasoned Southern style country cabbage in a can. It's fairly low calorie. It's low carb. I like it. Cauliflower's good. Clementines, the or the mini oranges, cucumbers, iceberg lettuce. It's went up where I live, so I'm not buying a lot of it right now. Onions, mushrooms. I absolutely love mushrooms. Um, it's really good in spaghetti and stuff like that. Um, Peppers like bell peppers, like green peppers and stuff like that. I love. Um, Papaya. I don't. They're not found very often around here, so I don't eat them. But I do very often. But I do love them, and they are good for you. And they're fairly low in calories. Strawberries, that's my sister's favorite. I eat them, but she absolutely loves strawberries. Spinach, sugar snap peas, um, they have a sweet taste of it. I haven't had them in a while, but they are lovely if you can ever get a hold of some. I love them. Tomatoes, watercress. Um, I don't know if you can still get them this way or not, but my mom, when I worked as a janitor, on days that I was gone for 12 hours, and especially if I had to do it again the next day, she would make me some frozen veggies when I got home. And there was a variety at Walmart that had watercress in it. It had other stuff too, but the watercress I loved. Um, so, it's very nutritious. It's low calorie. And it at least with that, it was really good because it and apparently it's good in a lot of other things, but that's the only way I've ever had it, but I absolutely loved it. So those are just some ideas. And most of these had just happened to be low carb as well. But if you're on a low carb diet and they're not low carb, either don't eat them or don't eat as many of them, or like because if you only have a half a cup or something. Now this is somebody that's never been on a keto or Atkins diet, and it might be different the first week or two you're on it. But there was definitely ones that are low carb, like pretty much almost every vegetable I mentioned except for potatoes. Every protein filled item I listed, named like eggs, things like that. You'll have to check on popcorn because I know it's got some carbs, but I think a lot of that is fiber. And at least with diabetes, and yes, I know it's different, you can take out. So if it's like 10 grams carbs for one of those bags, and 5 of it is fiber, you subtract the 5 from the 10. And for sugar alcohol, at least me, and some people are more sensitive to it than others, like if it's so many sugar alcohols, I can half it. So like if it was 10 sugar alcohols, I subtract it from the original amount. Say it's 20, because I know there's no sugar alcohols in popcorn. But say it's something like a candy bar or something that's one of the keto ones or something. If it's 20 grams carbs, and I know it would never be that high, but just work with me here, and 10 of it is sugar alcohols, I would subtract the 10, but I would add back half of it, so 5. So it would make it to where it was 15. But first you take off the fiber, so 20, and then say it's got 3 grams fiber, that leaves 17, and then it'd be like 8.5 or something. But it's not something I lost weight really fairly good, but everybody's different. But if you read up on about PCOS, which I've mentioned in other videos I have, you don't necessarily have to go low carb. You can go mid carb, and some people, even that, they have to go even further down. I will say though that if you're diabetic, please especially if you're diabetic, really anybody should, but especially if you're diabetic, talk to your doctor, because like if I went too low carb, it could be very dangerous. but I will say I'm not on medication or anything anymore, and there for a long time I was almost in remission before my back went out and I couldn't walk as much. I'll do a video here soon about ways to lower your A1C and your sugar from on a day-to-day basis. But this video was about healthy foods that are filling and low in calories. So I'll make another one probably tomorrow. My throat's a little out, so okay, bye.